my fellow fishermen, I have a banger of a video for you guys today. Right now is the time to throw one of my favorite, well, I guess it's not at this moment, but right now in these few months have been my favorite time to throw my favorite type of fly. And that, my friends, is the hopper dropper. I'm bored of Euro nymphing. Nymphing is just, I don't know.
Yeah, because you're terrible at fishing.
Hey, who said that, bro? It's time to throw something bigger, something better. Let me introduce you to the legendary. Get ready for the name, very nice. The circus peanut. Oh yeah. Sorry for the echo in here. I'm in my garage, and I don't have a mic, so you can imagine how that goes. Anyways, guys, I'm here to present to you my absolute favorite hopper pattern. I just dropped it. This is the hopper. What am I talking about? This is the circus peanut. The name is one of the weirdest names I've ever heard in my entire life, but it does indeed get the job done. And today, I'm gonna teach you guys how to tie it. The first few I tied, this looks more like a circus potato. And this one looks more like a, I don't even know, it's terrible. Anyways, guys, thank you for 160 subscribers. I think it's about time we whip out the Bible, bro. Let's start this video off right. Let's start it with a verse. Romans 5:2 says, "Therefore, since we have been justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ." I advise you guys stay prayed up if you want to catch monster fish. That's my strat. Fly can only get you so far. Remember that. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get right in to tying this absolute beast of a fly, bro. All right, everyone. So first I'm gonna start out by showing you all of the materials you're gonna need for this. First things first, let's get right in with like the main body. So this is 3mm fly foam in tan. I would recommend 2mm. It's just my fly shop only had 3. So, I mean, 3 works just as well, but for a sleeker look, I recommend 2. Next up for our cider foam, you can actually use any color. I just thought that the white looked the best, so I got this 1mm white fly foam. You wanna make sure this is 1mm. Next up, we got the legs. So these are Grizzly Bear rubber legs, medium gray. For our hooks, we're gonna go with a size 10. Make sure the shank on these is extra long because we wanna have a lot of space for the body. And sometimes I'll just say caddis hoppers, stoneflies, terrestrials, that's basically what we're tying. Next, you wanna go with some dubbing. I got this green ice dubbing. I think this green ice dubbing works spectacularly. We got some green Vivus 10-aught thread to go with our nice dubbing. And then the tools you're gonna need for this are obviously your cutters. I don't even know what this thing is called. Does anyone know what this thing's called? Like a spool holder, I guess. And then you're gonna want your half hitch tool. And you can also use your whip finish tool, but the half hitch tool is much easier for this style of fly. First things first, we're just gonna slap our hook right on there. This is a very niche fly, so hopefully I can help you guys, tie this awesome pattern. All right, y'all, so first things first, we're just gonna take our thread and we're gonna start laying down our thread base. So I usually start like just behind the eye of the hook, and then we're just gonna wrap this thing the whole way down to the body, to the bend of the hook. Then you can kind of go back up and just leave it right there. Next, we're gonna wanna cut this tag end. I actually made this a little bit too long, but it's okay. And there we have it. There we have this light. The lighting in here is so bad. I apologize for the bad lighting. Maybe that. Nope. All right, there we go. Next up, we're gonna take our fly foam, and I'll show you guys how to cut this. You wanna cut definitely a thinner amount than you think. So this is another circus peanut that I tied, and I kind of just like line it up right there and see where I need to cut this. So I'm gonna put a little mark there real quick. have that little slit right there, and that should be where I cut. And then you're just gonna wanna cut this the whole way down, because we're gonna use almost all this fly foam. Once you have cut your strip, you're just gonna fold this in half like so, make it even, and then you can just cut right in the center right there. So just like that. Okay, now that we have these two pieces, you wanna trim the back end to be pointed like this. This part can be pretty hard, and it might take a few tries in order to get a correct looking shape. All right, so I cut it pointed to look something like that, and that should be pretty good. And next we're just gonna lay this on top, and you want the back end to be sticking out only a little bit. I forgot to mention, you also wanna have some type of super glue. This is Fly Tire Z-Mint, which is basically super glue, but I think it's more expensive, and I probably shouldn't have bought it. But like any normal super glue would work, so you don't have to have exactly that. All right, so now we're just gonna lay our foam right on top like that, and then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna hold it on just so the tail end's sticking out, and then we're gonna take one wrap over just to cinch it down, and then we're gonna take another wrap in the same spot, and we can take one more wrap, just like that, and might as well do 4. So you should have something that looks just like that. Okay, now we're gonna grab our legs. So take your legs here, and you just want one strand. One strand will work perfectly for this. I think I have a loose strand here, I do. Just one strand of leg, and what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna fold your legs in half so they're even. Oh, I dropped it. Fold your legs in half like this so they're even, and then just cut it right in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're gonna have these two pieces, and then you're gonna take one away, fold this piece in half again, and then you're just gonna cut that again, right in the middle. So you should have 2 smaller strands of legs. All right, now we got that. We're gonna lay these legs right on top of where we had our thread go through, and I like to angle them down like this so it's easier to tie on. We're gonna go one wrap over, and I'll do one more wrap. Oh, this can be kind of hard. Just like that. So now we got that. I'm gonna pull these legs down to the side. As you can see here, pull them down right there. Let's see on the other side, just pull them down. And then you just kind of want to make sure that they're even like that. So you can see these aren't as even, so I'm gonna pull this side a little more. And it should just kind of like slide nicely through there, like that. Just gonna pull this a little bit. Okay, now that we've got that done, we're gonna take our ice dubbing. I'm just gonna let some thread out here. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of ice dubbing, just like this, and I'm gonna start my dubbing noodle. So I'm just gonna take my thread here, I'm just gonna add it. Make sure you only spin your dubbing one way, like this. Take a few more. Spin them like that. And I'm gonna add a little bit more. And like that. And I recommend using green or red, as I think those colors are the best. And now we can just start our wraps. So we're gonna start as close as you can to where the foam starts. So I got these wraps out of the way. Just like this, make sure that's nice and even the whole way down to the hook eye, and then you can remove whatever you have left. You just keep wrapping, and then now you can wrap up all the way right there. All right, so now we got that down, we can now begin to tie our foam down. So just from the spot, just one wrap tightly, another wrap in the same exact spot, just tighten it down, And then you can just keep wrapping it until you feel that it's good. I think like 4 or 5 wraps usually does the trick. Just like that. Now we can add our second set of legs. So once again, just making it even like this on the other piece you had, and just cutting it like right in the middle. And you just want to wrap it in the same exact spot you have been. So like 2 wraps should be good right there. Then you're gonna want to adjust the legs accordingly, and then just like slide them down to the side of the fly. And then you can finish the wrapping on them as well. All right, so we're almost done with our fly. Now we're just gonna take our white 1mm fly foam, and we're gonna add the cider for the fly. I like to have my cider a little bit longer, so if I'm cutting it here, we'll cut like a thin strip, just like that. You can trim it whenever you're done as well. It's like something like that should work perfectly. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna lay it right on top of where we were tying our legs, just right in the middle, and just take 1 wrap to secure it. And then we can take, my fly's like falling off, double tech. 1 more, another, just until it's tied down. Okay, now we can start our finishing process. So we're just gonna pull everything up here, and then I'm gonna take my 1/2 inch tool and just stick it right on the eye. And I'm gonna do 2 wraps. So it's just kind of hard with everything in the way. Just like that to complete our 1/2 inch. And just cinch it down. Do 1 more. Just make sure that's on there. Once we're done there, we can take our fly tire cement or super glue, and then we can just brush a little bit of it where our hook eye is in our thread, just to make sure that stays on. Just like that. And then you can take, like, on the other side of my 1/2 inch tool, I got that little needle. I can just take this through the eyelet so the super glue doesn't like block off where my line's supposed to go. Just wipe it off your fingers as well. All right, so now we got that done. We can trim this excess fly foam off. I like to go, actually let me cut my line first. All right, so I like to go like 2 hook eyes away, so like that's 1, and like 2 would be right about like there-ish. So just kind of guesstimate that. Just guesstimate it accordingly, just like that. And then I like to give a little trim on the sides here, just to give the head a little bit more shape. And you can trim this a little bit, depending on how you want it. And then you can get to trimming the legs. Although I don't think these really need to be trimmed too much. Trim that one a little bit. Just like that. There you guys have it. That is your finished circus peanut in all of its glory, ready to catch an absolute monster. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video of the circus peanut. If you guys want more fly tying videos, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm probably gonna do more of these anyways, just because it's something easy to do when I'm not actually fishing, and so I can get some content out to you guys. But I hope you guys found everything well. If you guys need materials, I'll link it down in the description for you, so you can find them easy and you can just get them right to your door. But yeah, that is the circus peanut. See you in the next video. Peace.